All right, we got a little project here. Got a little patch and repair work we're going to do on this car. So let's pull it in the shop and I'll show it to you. It's a pretty nice car. What they did is they actually painted this car a couple of years back, and from my understanding, there was one little spot. There was one little spot on this car that they did not remove the old body filler, and they thought they could get by with it, and so they went ahead and painted it anyway. And 2 years later, showed up a little crack. So the owner of this car doesn't want to repaint the whole thing and do all that kind of stuff. So we're going to try to repair this one spot. We're going to dig out this old body filler and not get into an extensive repair, but do it right. Get all the old body filler out and just put new body filler in it and rework it and repaint it and respot it in. So that's what we're going to do. So y'all enjoy. I don't even know if the camera will. Right there. Anyway, we're going to cut that out for them. And all right, we got most of that out. Let's go and get the rest of it out. There we go. Now we're going to wipe a thin coat of this Bondo here on there. You don't want to get this stuff, you want to try to keep it less than 1/8 of an inch thick is what you want to do. All right, now we've just got it sanded down and feathered in after we waited 24 hours letting that Bondo harden. All right, we're going to try to get this thing spotted in today. Got the car covered up. Already cleaned everything and got it tack cloth, and go ahead and spray this primer on here. Kind of put a thin coat on it and then just kind of go back and forth. Let it dry a few seconds. Make sure you don't have any runs in it. And go back, put another thin coat, and you just keep repeating this process till you get it like you want it. You want to build it up enough to where you can block it out. Get this primer a little bit taller than the other surface, and you can sand it down and not feel no ridge. Now you just water sand this whole panel, because we'll re-clear this whole panel when we get through, once we get it spotted in. You take some 1200 grit sandpaper and get you some water. And I always put a little bit of soap in my water, that way it just seems to slide better and it doesn't, clog up. So just put a little soap in your water and just keep going back and forth. Make sure you can get all the any rough red edges off of it, and you want that clear coat to be able to stick. Now we just wash all of that off, inspect it good, and a good way to tell if you've got it sanded, if once it dries, if you see any kind of glossy looking spots, that will be where you didn't get it sanded good. You don't want to see anything shiny on this paint, because you want this next coat of clear to really stick well to it. So we'll just clean this off and dry her down good. Just keep inspecting it. You always want to make sure you use good clean rags when you do this. If I got a rag, it's got a little bit of dirt, film, or you can just be wiping on this thing and you'll be scratching it and you're not even realizing it. Now we'll just dry this thing off. Let her dry so we can see everything looks good. Really do a good inspecting on it. Okay, it looks like it's all done. Water sanding. The valley, the groove looks really good in that. It's hard to see on this camera with my shadow, but you can see it's feathered in really well. Really smooth, can't feel anything. So hey, it looks like it's ready to spot paint, and we'll clear this whole quarter panel and then cut and buffer back in. All right, we got her over here at the paint booth and got it all taped out, got the car completely covered up. Just make sure that when you put this tape on here that you use a painter's tape so you don't actually pull off what paint you got on there. So, but yeah, it's ready to spray now. So what we're gonna do first is get a rag and wipe it off really good. And I always use a 100% alcohol and just try to get all the grease or anything where your hands may have touched. You want this paint to really stick to this well. So I'll wipe her down first with that. And there's a tack cloth behind her. Then we wet the floor down and walls, make sure we got all the dust down, and then we'll go ahead and start spraying this first base coat on here. You kind of do it the same way you did the primer, just real lightly spray it and let her dry, get tacky, and then come back and put as many coats as you feel like you need to cover it. And just keep repeating that process till you're happy with it. Like I said, we're not going to paint the whole quarter panel. We're just going to spot in the places that we see and cover up where we hit the primer. Now we're going to go ahead and put our clear coat on here, and this will do it, put it on real lightly, smooth and evenly, and just clear this whole quarter panel in. And we normally put 4 to 5 coats of clear. That way it gives us enough to, if we do have any runs or any orange peel, that we can go in there and sand that back out. And then it's called cut and buffing, what that is. Yeah, it looks like it's flowing pretty well. All right, I've already cut it with some sandpaper. And I use a 2000 grit, and I just sanded the whole quarter panel down and got all of anything rough that I see or any trash, and then we'll take these little buffers here. We'll put some compound on there and buff them out and then polish it in. And yeah, I think it's going to turn out good. It's looking really good so far. All right, we're finished with the car, with the project. And as you can see there, right in here is where that crack was at. And but it blended in well. Color matches. So it's hard to get this on the phone out here. Anyway, that's kind of it. Another project complete. So until next time, y'all be careful out there, would you?